Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley if you are new here, and in this video I just wanted to sit down and have a little socialization chat. I wanted to get your input on these topics and just kind of open up the discussion here, share what I'm thinking. Hopefully this video will turn out okay. The lighting is super weird because we are in the middle of a crazy thunderstorm right now. The past few days it's just been like crazy weather, so hopefully that's not too distracting. I also wanted to share a little bit about where I've been. I just took about a week and a half off, which I didn't fully intend to, but I'm going to get into that a little bit later in the video, but let's just jump right into the socialization chat. So obviously socialization is a huge topic of homeschooling parents or just people who discuss homeschooling in general, I guess. It's not technically a big topic once you're in it, I suppose, but when you're considering homeschooling, or if you think of homeschooling and you aren't homeschooling, that's the main, I guess, concern, or there's a lot of myths around it, I suppose. So when we were considering homeschooling, that was my probably like only real concern when it came to choosing this route. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about when it came to socialization is just kind of like the definition of socialization, and that is obviously like, how is your child going to learn how to act in society, in different scenarios that they're placed in. And that was actually not my concern when it came to homeschooling. When I think about how is my child going to learn how to act in different places, the way that they're going to learn is by watching me, by learning from me. If they are acting a certain way in a certain situation and they aren't supposed to be doing that, or they're not acting appropriately, I will obviously take them aside and teach them that this is not how you act in this situation. This is what you are doing incorrectly. This is how you can act, that sort of thing. So I feel like when we talk about socialization, we tend to talk about that concept of socialization because that is obviously the definition of it, and I guess a main concern of people. But when I think of that, it's like a no-brainer to me. It's like, how are they going to learn how to act? Well, I'm going to teach them, just like I teach them many other things in life. And whether or not your child is homeschooled or they go to public school or private school, you still have to teach them socialization. So that's not really exactly what I want to talk about in this video. What I want to talk about is really how you approach the topic of friendships in homeschool. That was kind of more what I realized I was concerned about when it came to choosing to homeschool. I wanted, I guess, some socialization. I was concerned, like, will they get enough? Which I think is really more about, like, will they get enough friendship? Will they get enough time with their friends? Which is not really socialization, in my opinion, anyway. I guess it's sort of an aspect of socialization. So even now, this is the end. This is actually our last week of our preschool year, our first year of homeschooling. If you don't know who I am, I was not homeschooled. I went to public school. I don't really know many people. I only know one person who was homeschooled, so it's not something I could just look to other people and see like, oh, well, they turned out fine. This is how they did it. That's how we'll do it, or we'll do it differently. I didn't really have any kind of basis to look to. So I just kind of like put out of my mind to even think about, do I want to homeschool, until we got a lot closer. And then I figured, oh, we'll just try it out. And so now we're going into our second year, which will be my son's kindergarten year. And I am still like considering these things. And so I wanted to kind of share how I am approaching friendships in homeschool. And I really want to hear from you guys and how you handle this topic of socialization or friendships, and if it's something you even really think about, or if it's just something you're not concerned about at all. I'm really interested in hearing your opinion on it. So for preschool, what we have done with socialization or friendships is that we actually got really lucky, and someone from our church actually kind of started a play group and invited us to it, and we've been doing that once a week throughout not our entire preschool year, but probably starting a few months ago or so. And my oldest son has really developed some friendships in that play group, and it's been really awesome to see him like really enjoy his friends and like look forward to seeing his friends. And it was such a like weight off my shoulders of thinking like, okay, I don't have to worry so much about friendships. He obviously can go to this play group and we have friends there, and that's been great. So basically, my concern going forward is just I want to, I don't know if I should just put all of our eggs in one basket per se. Like, that doesn't seem like such a good idea, because what if for some reason the playgroup couldn't meet anymore or something? I feel like we intend to continue, so it's not a huge concern that that would happen. But at the same time, I guess I am a little concerned because I don't want him only having friends in one area, of course. So also something else to know, if you've been following me, then you probably have heard me mention that my son did T-ball this year as well, and that was obviously an opportunity to make friends. He definitely didn't talk about like those friends or that kind of opportunity as like a place where he made friends. I'm sure he probably, had fun with his teammates and everything, but I don't think he like formed strong friendships there. But obviously over the years, if he's on the same teams as some of the other players over years, he probably will make friends with other kids on the team. So that is like a second place, obviously. But as a Christian too, I do want him to make friends with people who don't have the same faith as him, so that he'll, be able to be a light to those around him, but also so that he'll be able to discern what is true and what is not in the future and everything. So, I'm not like concerned with him having friends who aren't Christians, but what I mean is more so I want him having a place where he can hopefully make friends with Christians as well. And so I know the play group we go to, the families are Christians at the very least. Obviously, kids are not yet Christians, most likely. They haven't really been able to make that choice themselves, most of them anyway. So something else I'm considering for this kindergarten year is joining a co-op. So for kindergarten, I am considering joining a co-op. This week, actually, we have a meeting where it's like a mandatory meeting that if you want to join the co-op, you have to go to this meeting, and it's obviously like an informational meeting. So that'll be perfect because I'm not even 100% sure what it entails. And I do have a toddler and a 9-month-old right now. So, in the fall she'll be 1, but I am a bit intimidated on being out of the house like for 4 or 5 hours at a time or something. But what I'm thinking with a co-op is that I feel like it might be a bit more accountability too, even though, we are going to the play group almost every single week. So it's not necessarily that I'm skipping it all the time, but over the years, I feel like maybe it will just be a really good, stable situation, or like a second situation where he can make friends that hopefully he'll be able to continue on over the years. I also really like the idea that he'll get to do some learning activities, so it's not all 100% on my shoulders, that he'll get to do some fun things, fun activities, and all that sort of thing. That sounds really great. So I'll keep you guys posted on if we decide to do that in the fall. But for this summer season right now, he is doing T-ball again with his friends from the playgroup, so that's really fun. And then we're continuing the playgroup through the summer. We have swim lessons and stuff, so there's some things that he can do over the summer. So all in all, this year has gone really well with it, and I'm so thankful for that because, like I said, when I was going into it, I was just a bit nervous about it, I guess. So like I said, I really would love to hear from you. Please leave a comment below in how you guys are thinking through these issues. So I also just wanted to throw in here at the end of the video a little bit of like housekeeping, I guess you could say, and sharing a little bit of a life update for those of you who might be interested. I decided that I am going to cut back to just one video a week, definitely for the summer, maybe just permanently. We'll see how things go come the fall. So like I mentioned, I I doubt everyone noticed, but I did take off a week and a half from YouTube, and part of that was because something that I haven't really shared on this channel because it wasn't exactly relevant to homeschooling or anything is just that over the years I have been trying to find a work from home job essentially. So basically, ever since I was little, I always had this idea of wanting to work from home. I always thought it would be really cool. Being an introvert, it seems particularly appealing, but also now that I'm a mom and especially now that I'm homeschooling, I just think it would be awesome to have a lot more flexibility in my job. So currently, I am not working and I have not really technically been working traditionally anyway for about 6 years or so. But I have in that time been really like spending a ton of time researching different work from home options. And I just have this desire to work from home. I know that not all stay at home moms do. And I definitely think that it just comes down to the person and what feels right for their family. So I just really have this desire to work. I just always have. I really enjoy work, and obviously, it would be an awesome thing if I was able to help out financially for our family as well, of course. So I have spent countless hours thinking through and trying to figure out the right fit for me because I have wanted it to be flexible. I have wanted to make sure that like my priorities home would be able to be met still. Like I really wanted to be able to spend the bulk of my time and energy at home. So that has limited a lot, obviously. So my husband and I actually have had an Etsy shop, and that did decent. We were not like making full-time income or anything, but it was definitely something awesome to do to have that outlet to bring in some extra money. But that didn't last because it wasn't exactly sustainable and it wasn't exactly what I was looking for either because it was something we were doing together and my husband was doing a large part of it. So we eventually closed that down and I have considered many things. I have a blog that I tried to make money with. I have basically considered so many things. And so just recently, this is tying in because this is why I took time off YouTube. But basically, just this past couple weeks, I had started thinking that maybe I just need a different option. I partly started this YouTube channel as a way to hopefully make money, but it has really turned into just like a hobby and I really, really enjoy it. And so I do have the ambition to hopefully make money doing it, but that's not like the main reason I'm doing it. And I also just realized that it's not exactly the only thing that I want to do to try to make money, if that makes sense. So I have been considering some other options, and my husband and I were talking through me maybe going back to school to become a marriage and family therapist. So something that I have not shared is that I have my bachelor's degree in psychology. I originally went to school thinking I wanted to be a teacher, which is kind of ironic now considering I'm a homeschool teacher. But that wasn't the right fit for me, so I didn't pursue teaching. And I just graduated with a psychology degree, not really knowing if I would ever use it or anything like that, but decided more recently to start thinking, oh, maybe if I became a therapist, that's a lot more flexible. I could do it from home with like telehealth. I could open my own practice so I have more control over my hours. And we were very heavily considering this and ultimately decided that it was a bit too much of a time commitment and I would have to spend too much energy on it in this season anyway, with having very small kids. Maybe eventually I will consider it again. I found a really awesome online program that I would do, but then you also have to do like internships in person, of course. And so all of my time was spent, like all of my extra time anyway, was spent doing that. I was researching this and considering this big life change and everything. So I just had to pause YouTube. But like I said, I decided ultimately that that was not the right fit for this season. And instead, I am going to be continuing YouTube. That was always the plan, to pick it back up. I wasn't planning on like stopping it or anything. And then I'm also going to be considering doing bookkeeping. So that's something else that I have been considering over the years. I just haven't been entirely sure how I was going to get into it. But if that's something interesting to you guys, if you guys have similar desires to work from home or anything, because a lot of you guys I know have your own YouTube channels, so I'd imagine maybe you do have that same desire. So if this is something like that you would be interested in hearing more from me on, like my journey through it anyway, just let me know and I can just like throw it into like vlogs, or maybe if something big happens I can make a video on its own, or kind of like I did with this video, because the two things really didn't have anything to do with each other, but I just kind of wanted to just share what's been going on in my life. So if you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching it all. I look forward to hearing from you about the whole socialization friendship situation, and I just want to thank you again for watching, and don't forget to subscribe if you are new and you want to, and I will see you in the next one.